just had made. I know I posted it on our Facebook page, but this is it right here. So all it is wood, constructed into separate boxes where we're going to plant different seeds for the summer. And it's lined with the black weed protection. So all we did was we lined it at the bottom so that the soil wouldn't come through, because if you can see right here, it's pretty open. So we wanted to make sure that the soil wasn't going to go through. We covered it with the black wheat material, stapled it into place, and then filled it. This right here is our potting soil that we use in the greenhouse. It took 15 large bags to fill this area. It has the water, it has good soil so that the drainage is good. It's nice and fluffy. It's not heavy, and that's what we want to do. So we're going to start showing you first how to seed if you don't have one of these beds. And then we'll show you how to do these beds. And then I'll give you later maybe a small option of a smaller bed that you could probably do in your house if you wanted to start your seeds now for summer. Okay, so here we go. So I'm here with Diane. She's a greenhouse staff member.
Good morning,
Last
everybody.
recreation worker. We do various things. But she's going to show you how to plant flowers, just in case you don't have a stable bed to start your plants. So everybody buys these, saves them, they stack very easily. Again, we're using this soil. The first thing you need to do is make sure that it's super aerogant. You know, you have a lot of air going into it, nice and fluffy. You know that these little balls hold moisture, so you won't have to water that much. So that's all needed. So Dan's gonna be planting Petunia Easy Way Blue flowers. Now I wanted to show you, as she's showing you how to do it, that how you know on your packets when you buy them, it has germination time, and that's when you see that first little tiny shoot come on. You see the first growth, and you say, "Oh my God, it's growing!" You get so excited. So on this one, it says 7 to 12 days. So in 7 to 12 days, you will see that first small little green emerge from the soil. So as Diane's filling here, you see that she's not stuffing it, she's lightly packing it. You just kind of make it level with the container. You're going to put a small, very small indentation, top you have, the size of your finger right there, just that little. And then she's going to be putting in the seed. So you want to just put one seed in because it's so small, they're going to grow, and you don't want it to get root bound or anything like that. So as she does that, it's very tiny. So sometimes they come in these little vials here. This holds 25 seeds. So it's kind of nice. I like when they come in these vials. You know you're not going to lose it or the seeds are going to scatter. Then you can just put it back in the container that it came in. So Diane lightly spreads the rest of the soil on there just to cover that seed. And then you're going to add, what is that, guys? Vermiculite. So you just sprinkle that on because it's not heavy. It's going to allow the shoot to shoot up faster and smoothly. And then you just keep it watered. You put it in a sunny location. And that's how it looks. parts or even make any baskets. So as you can see, she's fluffing it up. The soil has to be, I have to scream so it's making me cough. Nice and fluffy. And then she's going to make the mark of where she's going to plant. So just like in the cups, you don't want to go too deep. Yeah. Yeah. She's making the mark, and I say that it's only about that deep from my finger. So because we're going to transplant these into other cups to be able to sell, you have to plant them at least, I don't know, is that 4 inches apart? So you're going to plant them apart so that once they're big enough, we can grab it, fill the cup with soil, replant it, and let it continue growing. As you can see, she's measuring out her distance. And she's going to be planting today Coleus Lizard Rose. Now it says here that Coleus Lizard Rose takes 10 to 20 days to seed for them to germinate. Once you start seeing that little shoot come up, it's probably like 140 days after that where you'll be able to use it in your garden. So it takes 10 to 20 days for them to germinate, and then another 18 to 22 weeks for them to be able to use in your garden. So always make sure that you mark it so that you remember what it is, how long it's going to take. Make sure you mark it if you have large beds so that you know what you're planting, and that way you don't get confused, because as you can see, we're planting many different types today. She's going to show you how to plant these seeds, and you're going to put one in every seed. And this one has 250 seeds. They come, like I said, some of them come in little bags like this, and then barrels. Yep. But all beauty takes time, right? They're very tiny. As you can see, look how small these are. They're like smaller than an ant. So that's why you gotta be patient and take your time. Just to think that tiny seed will grow into such a beautiful foliage. And I don't know if you noticed, last year it was almost impossible to find foliage at the garden center. They were sold out so fast. So now you're gonna put just a little bit. You're gonna just pat it like a little, like this, Lisa. And then you're gonna put it outside. Yeah. So this is the vermiculite. It's very light and airy. It lets it's almost like it's not sand. It's just super, super light. So then don't forget that you're just going to place your side. We're actually going to do a different kind this side, but you're going to place your side so you know what you have planted. Okay? Thank you. So this is Irene. She's another greenhouse staff / recreation, and we do a lot of things here. So she's going to show you again how to plant in one of these beds right here that we have. So Irene's first. as always, you have to make sure that the soil is all fluffed up and nice and irrigated. And so I don't know if I mentioned before, your soil should be moist. You should never be planting your seeds in wet soil. I mean dry soil. So yesterday we soaked these beds so that it would be just the right wetness for seeding. So as she's leveling it out, she's going to start to make her indentations of where she's going to be placing her seeds. And they're about, I would say 4 inches. So they're going to be at least 4 inches wide and just a tiny bit in depth. So Irene is planting Echinacea deep rose. So these are flowering plants. All the flowers that we're planting in these beds are not, they're annual plants. They're not perennial plants. So these will only last through the summer, and then once fall and the temperatures drop, you will end up, you will lose them. But there are some types of flowers that you can plant that will carry you over through the winter. And I'll explain that to you in another video. So in that packet, how many does it say? At the very top it says
250.
Is it in a separate, it's loose? Okay. So she's gonna start to plant them.
These are pretty big.
And these are bigger than the ones Lisette was doing for sure. Lisette had tiny, tiny ones. So she's just dropping one seed in per indentation that she made. And then after she's done with that, she's going to lightly cover it back again since you had fluffed up your soil. And then you're gonna do some vermiculite on top. That word is very hard for me to remember and say, but that's what it is. And that will allow the germination and the sprout to just pop up a lot more easier. But using a good soil is always a good key. Don't buy the cheap stuff. This one actually I get at Zanstra's, and I'm not promoting anybody, but I really like the way their soil is. It has a lot of, it's good potting soil. It's nice and light, and it does really well. That's the only one the greenhouse uses. And then she's gonna just cover it with the vermiculite. And that'll actually give it a little bit more. It kind of has some type of proteins in it, but it'll help the seedlings start. Okay. So thank you, Miss Irene. All right. So here's Diane again. She's gonna show you the many types of containers that you could use to grow. The other one was a 6-pack. This is a 4-pack. You could even probably do it in the cup ones also. So she's going to show you again how easy it is to do. So all you do is basically fluff up your soil, top it off very lightly. You're not going to pack it in because you don't want it. You want that seed to be able to root. So you're packing it, you're just lightly soiling it. You're gonna make the indentations that it needs. And it's just not even half your finger. You're gonna drop one seed in, and again, she's doing the Super Tunia Blues. And this is what they look like. They're a little bit bigger too, so that's kind of good. Then she's gonna just top it off with the soil that she has remaining on the top. She's gonna put some vermiculite on top. just to help it, because you're not packing it. So then all you do again is place it in a well sunny area. Make sure that they're misted. Don't overwater them. That's the big mistake. Most people overwater their seedlings. You don't need that much water, but you don't want it to dry out. So even with the spray bottle or something like that, that's how you would keep them misted. So maybe every other day. If your house is super hot, you might have to mist it every day, but just don't let them get too dry, and make sure that you do not overwater. So with the beds, they're bigger areas. We can do a larger area and mist the whole thing. So, and our tables here, under here, if you could see the pipes down there, them are actually heating pipes. So it keeps our beds really warm. Keeps our beds warm. It keeps our beds ready for plant. Perfect, ideal for planting, because you have to have your soil at a certain temperature. That's why most people don't start their seedlings. There's a specific time when you could start if you're in colder, if you don't have a warm area. But if you do have a warm area, even a basement is warm enough to start some seeds. So I wanted to just show you quickly. I'm going to see if I could zoom in here. So where it says germination, it says right there 7 to 12 days. So in them days you should start seeing a shoot and a little sprout come up. And then before down here it also says that it would take, it tells you everything that you need to know. It says that you can transplant it after 8 to 12 weeks into your garden. And it also tells you the height it's going to be, the color it's going to be, what if it's a flower or whatever. This actually tells you everything you need to know. So good luck. If you have any questions, call me or stay tuned to our Q&A that will be coming up in the next couple of weeks. So you have the 6-pack, the 4-pack, and then you have the girls over here doing the beds. Thank you for watching, and we hope that you have a wonderful and blessed day. Stay safe. Bye.